Anyone else feeling a little bit toppy about now? I mean, Bitcoin is struggling at $100,000. I've said that it should go a lot higher. I still believe it's going to go a lot higher. But I mean, having the price of Bitcoin struggle so much at 100K does make a lot of people a little bit nervous, except if you know where to look. Now, the charts are bullish. On all time frames, the charts are bullish. Bitcoin is just struggling to move and close above $100,000 to keep the momentum higher. There are some other reasons, but the main thing I want to show you in this video is something that's not exactly like limited to today or this week. It's to let you know that we are still so very early in this bull run. And I'm going to show you tons and tons of data on Glassnode that's going to make you go, and it's going to give you a lot of confidence knowing that this bull run is literally just getting started. So before I go over to that data, I want to remind you, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to Coin Bureau Trading. My name's Aaron, by the way. I always forget to introduce myself. It doesn't matter. There are links in the bottom. Like, let's just talk about the important stuff and talk about Glassnode, okay? So for one, why Glassnode? Well, one of the reasons why I like using Glassnode, I look at this once a week when I do my own personal updates, is that it gives me a lot of on-chain data. It gives me information about the health of the Bitcoin network. It gives me also some different metrics to pay attention to. Now, you don't have to have a Glassnode Studio subscription. A lot of these indicators can be found in other places. It's just that I happen to have a subscription to Glassnode. I use it a lot. I like it. It works well, but you don't have to. Another cheap alternative that comes to mind would be CoinGlass. And I really wish that CoinGlass did not rebrand to that, because Glassnode, CoinGlass, it's too similar. It gets mixed up in my head. Maybe they're a marketing genius by doing that. But anyway, we're going to look at Glassnode. Forgive me if I say CoinGlass. It might happen. I'm going to therapy, okay? Just be patient. So one thing that a lot of people pointed out in our Chop City section, right up here, after we hit our high in March, and we just did all this stuff, the number of active addresses plummeted. Now, there was a lot of fear and speculation in regards to that. And actually, if we just look to see how our number of active addresses has grown, it actually hasn't. It's been going back and forth, kind of looks like a Richter scale, which is why it's really important to use a 30 SMA, which is going to be my default SMA, or a smoothed moving average. It's going to smooth out all of the price action, but it's really the active addresses that are being added every single day. So that way we can get the gist of a trend. This is extremely helpful, and I'll show you why. Because if we come back over here to look at the 2016 to 2017 rally, which I'm going to be talking about and referencing a lot, especially the last bull run we had in 2020 and 2021. Check this out. We can see a steep increase in number of active addresses. It kind of plateaus, then it goes up higher as Bitcoin's price goes up higher. And of course, as Bitcoin becomes more and more valuable, as it appreciates, we're going to see an increase in active addresses. Now, notice where it tops out. Now, this isn't necessarily a topping signal per se, but it tops out at around 1 million active addresses. And this is again with a 30 SMA. What I find extremely interesting about this is that if we pay attention to the 2020 rally, it actually exceeded that by just a little bit. Let me bring this out just a little bit more. What I find the most interesting is that it tops out here at about 1.1 million active addresses, again with the 30 SMA. So we have a little bit of a topping signal, a little bit, but this is just one. It's not enough to do one. Now notice what happens after the top. Huge decline. Of course, it's going to be delayed because it's a 30 SMA. All right. Now, where are we now? We're nowhere near. Absolutely nowhere near the euphoria and the hype. We made our low, and our low was a little bit higher than the low we saw back over here. This low was not even registering. It actually plummeted a lot, which got, again, a lot of people were worried. But now we're seeing active addresses on the incline. Yeah. So maybe the 1 million mark on active addresses with the 30 SMA could be a toppy signal. But again, this is telling me that, no, we're still early in this market. Now, that's just one metric. I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to drill this into your head till you see it over and over and over, because I want to give you confidence, well, rather the confidence I have that there will be pullbacks. Absolutely, there will be pullbacks on the way up. But for the most part, we're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing right now, which is starting to slowly move up. And we're going to see this increase more and more as Bitcoin goes higher and higher. the adjusted spent output profit ratio, or aSOPR, again with a 30 SMA. We're going to leave this on because it's a lot easier to see. When we get super bullish, we're going to flip from negative to positive. And right here, see this? Boom, 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 boom. It wicks up and it goes down, up and down. It oscillates a lot, especially back here. Now, this was a super cycle rally. Bitcoin was down at $700, tops out here at $19,000, a little bit above that. It's a massive increase, but pay attention. When we have pullbacks, there will be a reset on aSOPR and a lot of these other metrics. You're going to see it. Now, did this happen in the 2020 cycle? Yeah, it did. We had all of this going up and down, up and down. But what I find the most interesting is that so many of these metrics show Bitcoin topping out per se, well before the price actually hit its all-time high. Many metrics point to, well, around February or March being the Pico top. Okay. And I published a video, what was it? Right here, the Bitcoin top signal. That is a ridiculous thumbnail, but watch the video because it's going to explain one really simple free indicator that you can use to watch the Bitcoin top happen. So that way you have a little bit of an alert and you have a heads up. Again, that's a ridiculous thumbnail, but I kind of love it. I'm going to see if I can make my mouth even wider for the next one. So we had a reset. It goes negative. So where are we now? Price is making a very nice increase, right? But we're not even that high yet on aSOPR. If I compare where we are now with the previous cycle, it shot all the way up here to 1.14. Note that this is the March high, 1.07, not even close to the all-time high levels. Now, I'm going to zoom out to show you, again, the 2016, 2017 rallies, because I need you to see this. Isn't that interesting? So while it feels toppy, the reality is that now we have two metrics telling us, well, we're really just getting started. This is just the beginning. Let's keep going. The MVRV Z-Score. And just so you know, I'm not going to be one of those guys that's I know I wear glasses and I know some of you are leaving comments like Poindexter. Haha, it's very funny. But I don't know the proper definitions of a lot of these. All of it's explained down below if you really want to do the research. The MVRV Z-Score, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. All I care about is that little line right here because it's way easier for me to distinguish these similarities. So, and again, if you get that, way to go. You're awesome. You're so much better than me. So we're watching the MVRV Z-Score shooting up. Price of Bitcoin has a pullback. We see that reflected in this metric. Goes up, has a pullback. We see it reflected in the metric, and then it shoots up to this red zone up here, which is above, I believe, 7. So once it hits 7 on this metric, that's the sell zone. Now, does this actually happen in the 2020 rally? I am so glad you didn't ask, but I'm going to show you anyway. No. At least with a 30 SMA, no, it doesn't. But we can clearly see that we have a pullback, it retreats, and then we have our top. Now, does this increase? This is the most important thing to keep in mind, you guys, because this is what I'm going to say over and over and over again. November 2021 was the price-based top, but in regards to metrics, it wasn't the top. The top was over here. So just watch. Because when we look at the price, no. MVRV Z-Score just like up, and then it fell down. So with that in mind, where is this metric now? It looks like we're really high up, right? Oh no, we're really close to the end. Oh no, we're almost, we're not even halfway there yet. And that's the market that we got cheated on. The 2020 rally, it should have gone up a whole lot higher, in my opinion. If we look at the 2017 rally, here we are right about there-ish. Okay, you get it? We're right about here as far as this one metric goes. So now we have 3 metrics telling us, nope, we're just getting started. Now, for all of you naysayers saying, well, you're just using the 30 SMA because you like it. I do like it. Do you like it too? I like it. But let's go ahead and turn it off to see, does this make any sort of improvement? Now, yes, without the 30 SMA, we do see the MVRV Z-Score. What a name. Why? Why not call it something cool like the RAD score or the high score, like MVRVC? Mathematicians got to stop labeling this stuff. Just give it to someone who's in marketing, who's like 22, just out of college. They're going to call it like the Alpha Ultra score. It sounds so much cooler. Can we rename this class node Alpha Ultra Score? Thank you. I want all the credits and 5% royalties. So we have the top here. It's obvious MVRV Z-Score shoots and rockets through this red capitulation zone. Or not capitulation, rather it's the take profit zone. If we go to 2020, look at this. Oh, it goes right into it. But note, when does it happen? It happens in February 2021. Do we get any sort of increase when we hit the actual all-time high? No, it falls down. I need you guys to burn this into your brains, okay? We got robbed. We got absolutely robbed in 2020 and 2021. I am 100% confident of it. Okay, so where are we in terms of previous markets? We are looking amazing. There's nothing to worry about. Let's keep going. I'm not stopping there. I'm not stopping. So realized total ratio. Okay, I like this. This is a good one. We don't have to rename this HODL. That will resonate with a lot of Bitcoin holders. Okay, so this one looks a little bit more because the realized HODL ratio is now at levels that we saw back here in the previous cycle, okay? We saw it coming up to about 11,000 or so. It actually did make a higher high compared to the 3 other metrics we've seen so far. So 1 out of 4 makes a higher high when Bitcoin's price shoots up higher, right? But look, we're at this point right now in the market. We are almost, let me try to get it perfectly. This is the thing I don't like about Glassnode, guys. Ugh, so annoying to like get this cursor right on the money. There we go. I don't have an anger problem. It's totally fine. Just annoyed at a website. But the R-holder ratio at about 9,000 or so, look, this is basically the top back in 2020 after it had already shot up. So we're just getting started. And again, this is why I think it's better for us to reference the 2017 rally. Now, do I think we're going to see Bitcoin shoot up to $1 million? No. Should it? Yeah, why not? I'm not going to say no to that, but I don't think that's realistic. A lot of the big numbers that are floating around, again, I don't think they're very realistic, but $173,000, that's realistic to me because it's not that much higher than the current price. That seems way more attainable instead of this pie in the sky, $500,000 Bitcoin. That's ridiculous, at least to me. So we saw this continue to shoot up higher and higher, but we had lots of pullbacks. We have not had our first major pullback yet. And I need you guys to do me a favor. You're going to go here to this playlist. I think it's linked down below. It's probably not. But this one, when this first pullback happens, it will definitely 100% set the tone for the rest of this bull run. Pay attention. When this happens, it's a big deal. We haven't seen it happen yet. We've only had these little like baby giraffe coughs, okay? Like there's nothing happening here. We have the giraffe. What we need right here is like a tomahawk, like getting that decapitating, that this is getting dark real fast. We're going to stop. But you get the idea. We haven't had a significant pullback yet. So what happens when we turn off the 30 SMA? Well, it's actually not that different, to be honest. We kind of had a little bit of a spike up at these big levels. It's fine. It's not really a big deal. We're retracing just a little bit. Not a big deal because we saw this happen a lot back here in 2020. But in 2016, 2017, this just kept going up higher and higher and higher. So on this one, we're looking kind of toppy, but not really. Toppy in regards to the market we got rugged on. Last one. Now, net transfer volume from and to exchanges, I like this a lot because this shows us how much Bitcoin is being bought on exchanges and withdrawn to private wallets, offline wallets, etc., or how much Bitcoin is being deposited onto exchanges for profit-taking purposes. So when we get a lot of these green columns right here, this is showing a net flow, a positive net flow volume of 7,000 Bitcoin. So if you remember about a month or two ago, the poor country of Germany will remain forever poor and forever mocked because they sold like 40,000 Bitcoin when the price of Bitcoin was at $65,000. They're going to be regretting that. They are never, ever going to live that down. That's awful. Honestly, it's like, guys, really? But look, ever since we've seen Bitcoin rage, we've seen so much BTC being bought on exchanges and withdrawn. 14,000, here we go, 13,000, 17,000, 17,000. All of this is not Michael Saylor, but these are big institutional buys. Now, guess what happens when we put on a 30 SMA? Do we see any similarities? Boy, oh boy, we see a whole lot of BTC being withdrawn from exchanges. If we go back to our market bottom, check this out. So if we're looking at our market bottom back here, December 2022, when we have that 30 SMA layered on, we're almost getting to these levels of desperation in buying and withdrawing Bitcoin off of exchanges. This is also an amazing signal just before the market starts to really rally. But when we see lots of deposits starting to go onto exchanges, which should happen, this is a sign of profit taking, and it's always going to be late. Look at this right here. It's painful how late this one is. Look at this. Bitcoin was up at what, $60,000? Then we see all this BTC being 30,000 Bitcoin at 50K. At least they got it at 50K because it fell down to like 29. But look at that. Oh, so late, so slow. That's painful. But at least they took profit. Good for them. Only except it just, hopefully they bought back in because, you know, it's a lot higher now. Just want to say. So that one, we're looking good. We're not seeing a lot of Bitcoin being brought onto exchanges to take profit. Again, another bullish indicator. Are you getting it so far? By the way, I've been talking for a while and I haven't said the thing you know I'm going to say next. And if you're new to the channel, this is what I'm going to say. If you haven't hit the like button yet, slap yourself. Ideally, if you're on a bus or on some sort of public transportation system, if you slap yourself in public, let me know and I will personally heart your comment. You have to let me know. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. That would be so embarrassing and silly. Please don't do that. That would be really bad. Just let me know if you do it. So, we have the Puell Multiple. Again, this is available on lots of other, websites that show these metrics. So we're going to go back here to this halving back in 2016. It is 100% normal. And yes, we're using the 30 SMA because this one's ugly without it. It's normal to see the Puell Multiple dump after the halving event, but then we see it go back up, and then we get to our sell zone. Okay, so that's 2017. Does this happen in 2021? Yes, it does. Sorry, 2020, excuse me. But here's our halving. It dumps and it goes all the way back up. Now, does it make a newer high in 2021? Nope. So far, only one does, and that's the realized HODL ratio. Pay attention. Where was the top? It was in March. Now we're using a 30 SMA. We'll take that off. The high was really up here in March. So this is pretty much spot on. So where are we now in regards to our current market? We're not even there yet. Like, we're so close. I'm laughing because look at where the Puell Multiple was at the halving event, 1.8. Okay. Go back to 2020 right here. Where was it? I was at 0.9. And then we saw it really move up higher, right? Let's go back to 2016, this halving. It was up at 1.7, really similar to where we are right now. And it took so long for the Puell Multiple to catch up to where it dropped from. We haven't even fully retraced yet back to 1.8. Again, more proof that's telling me we are early. We're early or we're going to get rugged like crazy bad in February. Worst case scenario. But the net unrealized profit and loss ratio. Again, we're going to turn off the SMA for this one because it's more important to see this. When we see crazy markets that are heating up, we're going to see it hit this range up here where we're going to be in belief and euphoria. In 2017, we saw it get up to euphoria at a max of 0.79. But notice what happens. It gets up to these crazy levels and we get these pullbacks, but then it shoots right back up, pull back, shoots right back up, pull back, and it stays in belief for this entire time until it finally capitulates up there. Capitulate's not the right word, but it hits the top, marks the top. Check this out, 2020. You ready? Now, here we go. Same thing. It's moving up higher. We're in belief. We get a pullback, and that's the top right there in gasp, February. Not November. It doesn't make a newer high. Where are we now? Well, we're in this zone. We haven't even surpassed the previous levels in March really yet. We're in belief, but we're still so early. So what's going to happen? We put on a 30 SMA. We're just starting to curl upward. Let's go back here to 2016, 2017. See this? That's what I'm talking about. Like, We're doing so fine right now. Look at this. So fine. That's my new R&B song about how we are in the market right now. We're so fine. It's going to be a good song. But we're so early. Everything is great. Honestly, I could keep going, and I'm not. Okay, I'll do one more. You twisted my arm. But the Fear and Greed Index, a lot of you have access to this. This is really important. It's a great metric to use. Unfortunately, we don't have this metric going back to the 2017 cycle, unfortunately. But when the market starts to get really overheated, we get to the extreme greed. Oh, come on. I did not mean to do that. Here, I want to do this. We get to the extreme greed side of the Fear and Greed Index. Notice where the price or this metric is knocking above, knocking on heaven's door, which is at about 95, over and over. We get our first real pullback, and this thing dips from extreme greed all the way down there to fear. It doesn't go to extreme fear, but that's a pretty significant pullback. After the second one, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The first pullback sets the tone for the bull run. After the first one, it does quickly go back to fear and greed at extreme greed. But after that, it has a hard time moving up higher. It does, in this metric, it does shoot back up to some extreme greed levels in November. But so far, we have like 4 out of 6 saying no. Nothing was pointing to November being the all-time high in regards to metrics. So where are we now? Well, this one is the one that's looking a little bit more like top E, but we've just started. When Bitcoin was at 98K, Fear and Greed was at 94. We're not there yet. We're not seeing this knocking on heaven's door, right? We don't see it going over and over at 95. Actually, it flipped back down to just being greedy over this weekend. Nothing right now is making me feel anxious or worried like, oh man, we're totally missing out. This is it. This is the top right now. No, friend, no. Now, I could be super duper wrong. I don't mind being super wrong, but what I'm looking at is not just my own biased opinion. I'm not even looking at the charts today. I wanted to show you metrics that are looking at the fundamental aspects of Bitcoin, looking at number of active addresses, fear and greed, the NUPL metric, the net unrealized profit and loss, looking at MVRV, aSOPR. I deserve an award, by the way, for remembering all this stuff. Realized HODL ratio. There's a lot of great stuff happening behind the scenes of the price action. Even though Bitcoin is kind of feeling toppy at about 20K, the reality is that so many metrics are still extremely early and not getting anywhere close to that area being in that top zone. Now, when that does happen, I'm going to let you know, which is why you need to be subscribed to this channel. Okay, so if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe, get the notifications on. I have my own playlist here. I know I'm such a special little snowflake, but definitely keep an update on the videos that I post because I'm going to be talking about a lot of these macro price-based observations around the market. So what do you think? This is the part where I really love how you guys give me tons of feedback in the comment section. This is just me. I'm just a talking head, blah, 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 on Coin Bureau's trading channel, Coin Bureau Trading's channel. But a lot of you are looking at the market with a different perspective, different lens. Some of you are super hyped and you're thinking Bitcoin to $1 million. Some of you are already shorting the market. I'm curious to see what you all are thinking about the market right now. Do these metrics make sense? Do you feel like Bitcoin still has a lot left? What are you looking at in regards to a top signal outside of the stuff that I've already shared with you? So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.